Hello, all you writers out there. It is Friday and it's time for you to learn everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote a great book. My name is Elizabeth Ann Atkins. I'm co-founder of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, now celebrating 10 years in business this week. And I'm here with our superstar author, Joanie Lindenmeyer. She is the best-selling author of None Better, and we've done two books together, Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts. And so every Friday we go live to talk about everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote a great book. So today's topic, Joni, how are you feeling?
I'm great. I'm just like, okay, put out that topic because it touches my heart big time and it's just so much joy. So,
Yes,
yes,
yes, yes, yes.
thank you
So the
for having
topic,
me. And you look phenomenal. So, what a
oh,
beautiful
thank you.
Friday. Hello to everybody. Hi.
Well, considering it is, I don't know, 20 degrees here in Michigan, and I'm in hibernating, writing multiple books. Thank you very much for that, Joni. Um,
Yes.
So today's topic is about something amazing that can happen that you never anticipated when you started writing the book. Usually, when you start writing a book, you're so focused on writing, getting the book done, because that's such a momentous, huge, Herculean task that you're not thinking about all the extras. But guess what? Joni embarked on her mission to write None Better, her memoir, based on her 40-year love affair with Carol, and then the two more books. And guess what? Joni reached such a high profile position, speaking, book signings, pride events, so many things. She got a radio program. And not only did she get an amazing radio program called Joyously Free, it is now syndicated. And so, our message to you as aspiring authors is you never know how many incredible offshoots, incredible opportunities can arise when you write that book. And so today is going to talk about how that evolved and what it's like. And also, she has a special guest coming into the studio in Brookings, Oregon next week. So she's going to talk about that.
Who that special guest is.
Who could it
Woo!
be?
I don't know. Initials are EAA, blonde hair, lives in Michigan, and just is a guru, everything. So,
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, Joni. So let's talk about how you got the radio program.
okay. And I'm going to probably be really emotional because I'm so excited about how this has come. And it's actually my 1 year anniversary of radio. And so
Wow.
that's pretty cool. I can't believe it that I've been doing this for 1 year. But how it came about was, and I'm going to go back to when I was teaching at Del Norte High School in Crescent City, California. One of the students I had, Dalton Bradbury, and his parents, Marcy and Darren. Well, we became connected. Dalton is one of the persons that has written something in my books and on my books. He was a ninth grader and not out as gay, but confided in me. And then it became involved with his family in terms of mom would ask, well, is my son gay? And I said, that's something you need to talk to your son about, not me. And Dalton and Marcy, then we began to have time at Starbucks coffee after school. Dalton's dad, Darren, is a very involved musician and community man. And he says, I would like for you to meet my friend Jacques. Jacques wants to interview you in Crescent City on the radio show there. I said, I've never done anything like that. And Darren says to me, Joni, you can do this. Jock, and you'll just have the time of your life. Well, I went to this little studio in rural Crescent City, California, and it wasn't much than just a dark room, a microphone, a whole bunch of equipment, and then a microphone for me. And I had to put these headphones on, and I had my little bit of notes, and I had my book there. And so Jacques and I just hit it off, and an hour went by just like that as we chatted about my life, the books, how it came to be, and all of that. Well, lo and behold, Jacques says, Joanie, what are you doing in a couple hours? We have another radio show in Brookings, Oregon on KCIW. And I said, you want me to do this again? It's only been, I think it's my first time doing it. And now you're saying in 2 hours, drive up the road 30 minutes and let's do another one? He goes, yes. So I jump in my car. He jumps in his car. We head 30 minutes north. And here we are in another studio again. This equipment blows me away. It's like going into an emergency room with all the bleeping lights and just sound equipment. And it's just a bizarre thing if you've never been into a studio before. There's a table in there with plexiglass to keep you separated because it's like still coming off of COVID kind of stuff. And lo and behold, I got to put the earphones on again. And here I am. He's asking me questions. I'm telling the story again. And so anyways, that triggered, would you believe, that triggered because I was looking for an audiobook place to do my audiobook of None Better. That triggered the sound producer, Tom Bozak, to say, Joanie, well, I can do that with you. Let's do that audiobook right here in this
Oh,
studio. So here we
wow.
are as the expansion of None Better from print to audiobook. So for
Hmm.
I don't know, I think it took us 10 or 12 sessions to complete the audiobook. I got to know the studio very well. I got to know the staff very well. I got involved in that. And then Tom said to me one day, Joanie, would you like to have your own radio show? And I said, what? Me? A radio show person? He goes, you are so good with your voice and you talk and you listen. And he goes, you can name your show whatever you want to name it. You would be called a producer, a radio show producer. And I said, really? He goes, yeah, you would need to learn a few things and come up with a script. You would need to write your script of what you want to have. I said, well, it's got to have stuff about queer life. It's got to have stuff about religion. It's got to have stuff about joy. It's got to be joyously free. He goes, you can do this. That's how it started. That's how it
Wow.
started. Can you believe that? And
Wow,
so my
Joni.
whole point in doing this was not about me. What I wanted to do, Elizabeth, and this is what I've accomplished and continue to do, it's bringing other people in as guests to use their voice, to tell their story.
Hmm.
That's what it's about because the
Hmm.
more we share our own stories, everybody sharing their stories
Hmm.
in public, out there,
Hmm.
proud, gutsy, courageous,
Hmm.
confidently, we can make a better, healthier, happier, harmonious world. That's what it's
Mm.
about.
I love that, Joni. That's amazing.
It
That's
is
so
amazing.
cool.
And I never saw it coming. I never saw it coming. And that's the surprise. And I think, okay, it comes back to Elizabeth and Catherine. Look what you started with me. Oh,
Ah! Wow. And it's only been a few years. That's what really blows my mind, Joni. Like, what year did we meet? Oh, two? Oh, three?
2023.
2023. Yeah, that's less than 3 years ago. Because it was, wow.
March 19th, 2023, the
Mhm.
kickoff of None Better will be 3 years old next month. So that's how long I've known you is 3 years.
Well, we started working together the summer
Oh,
before that,
yes.
though.
Oh,
So
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
2022.
Yeah. In terms of
Yeah.
Zooms and all that. Yes,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We started writing the book in June of 22.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 5 months,
Wow.
6 months after Carol had died. Yeah.
Right, which is remarkable.
Yep. Yep.
For those of you who don't know, Carol was Joni's lifetime partner, and she passed in January of 2022. And 6 months later, Joni started working with me to write None Better, the book about their lives that they had outlined in a notebook while Carol was still living. So then, Joni, 6 months into grieving a 40-year partner is intense, but
Yes.
the writing was very therapeutic. And so that's a whole nother episode of this podcast
Yes.
because writing is very healing. But it's really, really wild, Joni. I'm ghostwriting multiple books and I have ghostwritten for many people. And highly successful people often say that they never saw opportunities that popped up that are bigger and better than they ever imagined. And for those who are spiritual or religious, they credit the hand of God or spirit
Yes.
guiding,
Yes.
providing
Yes.
opportunities, people, things you can do to contribute, like you said, like your mission and my mission and our mission at Two Sisters Writing is to cultivate human harmony. Everything we do through the written and spoken word is all about healing, bringing people together, inclusion, celebration, recognizing. And so you're doing that with your radio program, which is so beautiful. And then I was speaking to students the other day at this really amazing place at Michigan Central Station in Detroit that was funded by Usher, the singer, a Detroit
Oh,
rapper named Big Sean, and then another author, bestseller named Shaka. And they created this incredible whole floor of entrepreneurial workspaces for high school students. It is incredible. But I spoke to the students about dreaming big and how to use the tool of writing to envision what they want and to help manifest it. And it was so exciting. And again, what I told them is there will be things that come to you that you never expected, but you have to get on the path. You have to start. And you did that by with the books. And then people and places and things just come to you. And that happens to me all the time. And it's really magical. So you have to trust that that'll happen. And also, Joni, it's things that are so delightful that you would do without pay. Of course, you want to profit from everything
absolutely.
you do. However, sometimes the reward comes back in ways that are non-monetary.
Hmm.
Knowing
Hmm.
that you touched a life, knowing that you changed a life, knowing that you inspired someone or showed them a new way to be, or helped them find their voice or help them come out. Those things you cannot put dollar amounts on.
Right.
And that's the beauty of it. So tell me about how rewarding it is for you to do this.
Incredibly rewarding, and there's no financial gain in any of the radio things that I do. I mean, I don't make anything. It's all volunteer because it's
Oh,
radio. It's all volunteer. And
okay.
so it's not a job for me, it's a mission. And
Mm-hmm.
you hit a couple things. And number one, my theme for 2026 is dream bigger, sparkle brighter. That's my theme.
Ooh.
26, and I started that out literally on January 1st. But dream bigger, sparkle brighter. And yes, the youth, putting it out for the youth, Elizabeth, is phenomenal, helping them on that path. And I think the path for me has always been prayer, has always been God, has always been divinity. And it's me listening to what the Lord wants of me. And it's a big yes. When I hear it and it's clear, I say yes. And that's, I think, something that we can all take to heart. And taking that time, my beach walks or whatever you do, listeners, to have that time where you have some quiet time to pray and to put it out there, to surrender, to let it go. And doors will open. Doors will open. Vaults will open. Hearts will open.
Months.
All of that will happen. And so back to you just asked me a question. And the question was, what was the question?
Describe the fulfillment, the rewards of doing this work.
Yes, yes. The fulfillment is I'm interviewing the coolest people, and that's my prop today. So I just wanted to read you. This is my list. I'm now up to 53 people I have interviewed. So that's
What?
53 strong voices. That's 53 tears. That's 53 smiles. That's 53 people coming out in their own way on a public radio. That is absolutely huge. And so we kicked it off very first. Cindy Holm was about coming out. And Cindy is just a beautiful person. She was in the military, married to a man and with children, and then realized, you know what? I really love this lady over here. And so she then left her husband, and that was all good, 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 good. And so she tells the story about that and how she's just beautifully married to Karen now. And then we kicked it off with Lisa. And I have the name and the topic, and I'm just going to read a few of these. So Lisa talked about her happy place of art. I had Father Bernie Lindley talking about being the light. I had Dr. Louise Abbott talking about faith and church. Father Robert Thomas about twisted religion. That was really, really powerful. Michael Irby talked about his faith journey as a gay man within the Orthodox Church. Shane Stevens, my good friend Shane, who produced all my banners and my stickers for my business, he talked about being an LGBTQ ally in business and the power
Ooh,
in that. I have
wow.
Carlos. Carlos talked about gratitude and love and how he went from having a job to having medical challenges to becoming homeless. So that was my very first homeless person, unhoused person on my radio show because I have a diversity of friends, people with money, people without money, and people in circumstances. And then, of course, I had Elizabeth Ann Atkins celebrating diverse voices. And that was on February 18th of 2025. And
Oh,
that was
wow.
phenomenal. That was my
Yeah.
first time ever interviewing you. And that blew me away because
Oh,
you
wow.
interviewed me a zillion times.
Mm.
And that was just fabulous. Sherry Ann Salter talked about domestic violence, that you are my people. Michael Hensley talked about being a seer and believing in miracles. Chaplain Rick Majeski, my grief guy, that when Carol died and I went to support group, I had Rick come on and talk about hospice and grief and hope. And so the list goes on and on and on. I've done people from phone interviews to live right there in the station. So what has that fulfillment meant? My heart has grown, Elizabeth. I've gotten to see life bigger and better from their perspective. And that's what's so cool when you don't judge and you just get to know somebody. It's just very, very powerful. And I think as a world, we can do that more and more by taking the time and really listening to where people are. I think uh, a, um, what do you call it? That thing in the ice, the tip of the iceberg.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see somebody, you look at them, and you might have things flash through your mind when you see that person. And that's the tip of the iceberg. What's underneath that? Who is that person? Who really are they? What do they
Mm.
stand for? What do they believe in? And
Mm.
you, listeners, as you're thinking about this is what you as an author do.
Hmm.
You put yourself out there, whatever your subject matter is that you're talking or writing about, you're putting it out there. And that inspires people so
Hmm.
that they then can be willing to expose themselves. And I say expose, just like that ice cube, that ice pyramid. What do you call that thing again?
Iceberg.
Iceberg. Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. That iceberg so that you can get to know people on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Surface, fine. How's the weather? How's the family? How's the dog? But what's really going on in somebody's life?
Right.
Are you able to come out? Are you really able to celebrate? What are your fears? What are your anxieties? What's really going on? And to take the time. And that's what my honey Carol was an expert at. That was
Mm.
she was an expert. And I'm trying to be better at that as well every day. Listen more than talk. I'm trying
Mm.
to listen more than talk. So I'm going to be,
Yes.
so that's my fulfillment.
I love that. That's beautiful, Joni. That's
Thank you.
beautiful. And then you got syndicated. Can you talk about how that happened? Because it wasn't even something you had pursued either.
No, 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 no. Well, and that was because I'm involved in prides and down the street or down across the border in California, Northern California, is Humboldt County. And so what happened with that was that I met some people from Humboldt County, including Queer Humboldt. I gave a talk there and I said, oh my gosh, I would love to be connected to the radio station there. So somebody gave me the address or the email of Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg actually grew up in Point Loma, which is right in part of San Diego. And so we found out that he went to Point Loma High School. I went to San Diego High School. So we had an instant connection. And he goes, Joni, we would love to syndicate your show down here. You do stuff for our county. You do stuff for the queer people in our town. And we're neighbors. We got to get rid of that border of the California-Oregon border. Let's do a syndication. So that's
Oh,
how that one happened.
I love
And then the
it.
next one was this one here, KSKQ in Medford and Ashland. And that happened because of Renee, which happened because of your sister, Catherine, who had me speak at the RVML. So I got to know them. I've been on her radio show. And so that hooked me up with Jeff. And now we are able to KSKQ Sundays at 5:30 p.m.
That's incredible. And it's all about relationships. One person
Incredible. Hey, while
introduces
you're
you.
talking, I got to get my battery. Otherwise, my computer's going to die. So keep
Oh,
talking.
Okay, so let me share for me as an author and publisher all the amazing opportunities that have arisen, like too many to list, but just a few weeks ago I got to moderate an MLK event at a small college in Michigan, SVSU, with the first Black woman CEO of an NBA team, Sint Marshall, and that we got a standing ovation. It was just outstanding. And so also speaking to students this past week with the Detroit Writing Room and coaching with the Detroit Writing Room and leading workshops. And when I'm on Joanie's show this Thursday, this coming Thursday, which will be February 12th, 2026, we're going to be promoting we're going to be talking about why I'm in Brookings, Oregon, which is going to be t leading workshops at the South Coast Writers Conference, which is February 13th and 14th. I will put the link here and you can register. And there's a beautiful hotel that's right on the ocean where you can stay. And on Friday, I'm doing a 6-hour workshop called Write Your Book in a Day, where you learn everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote a book. And then on Saturday, I'm doing two 90-minute workshops. One is about publishing your book, and one is about writing your memoir. We're also doing a critique session. I think it's Saturday evening, and I'm going to be doing a reading, and we're having a reception hosted by Joanie Thursday evening. I'll put the link here for that. That's ticketed because everybody gets a copy of our book, Write Your Book in a Day, which is brand new this month, hot off the presses, celebrating our 10-year anniversary. And then there's another free reception at the Chetco Library in Brookings Thursday afternoon. So there's so much fun. And guess what? It's Valentine's weekend. So somebody said, Elizabeth, who's your Valentine? And I said, all the writers who are coming to indulge their passion in writing for the weekend with us. So I'm so excited
Absolutely.
because writing truly is a passion. And at the moment, I actually feel married to my work because I'm in hermit mode, writing these books, snow, cold, Michigan. Love it. Loving it. I need some water. Hold on.
Okay. Okay. So while Elizabeth does that, I'm so looking forward to seeing Margalie, who's coming from Coos Bay to the Writers Conference. And I'm looking forward for Elizabeth to meet many of the writers, the contributing writers that are in Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts. So Sally Roy and oh my gosh, I just went blank on names. Jill is in the book and going to be there. And so Elizabeth will get to meet these people firsthand, eyeball to eyeball, that are contributors in the Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts.
Oh my
So it's going to be an
gosh.
incredible reception, and they're so excited to meet you. Back to your interview that I get to do with you next week, that will air on the 16th of February. So
Okay.
everybody listening, tune in, kciw.org on the 16th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you miss it and you're not able to hear the 30-minute live, it is then posted on that website, kciw.org, and it's on iHeart, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Is that incredible? So you talk about where this has all gone, from book, audiobook to radio to another radio to another radio to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, we just keep sharing the message, and I'm so excited about everything about life.
Yes, Joni. Um, so it's exponential. It just keeps expanding, 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 which is so exciting. And again, you're touching so many lives, and then they're going to touch lives because we've ignited some kind of spark in them. So that's
Mhm,
what I love about all that we do with our books and all the multimedia, amazing. Even this podcast,
mhm.
it helps people learn what they need to do to write a book. So,
Right.
all
And I
right.
think the message is then to share it, to spread it. It's just not for the people right there at that moment, but share it, spread it.
Mm-hmm.
It,
Mm-hmm.
it, it doesn't matter how you do that. The techie world, post it. Your sister last night posted I just am in a newspaper up in Newport, Oregon, where I'm going tomorrow morning. And here she is sending me this thing that was in the Newport newspaper and the digital newspaper for Newport. I'm like, hey, Kathy, find this. Your sister amazes me. She finds me this stuff about what I'm doing and where I'm going in the media world. And I'm like, does Catherine find that out? And
She's
ay, 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 she's
she's one of the
incredible.
smartest people I know in the world. So yeah, we're lucky to have Catherine Greenspan. Shout out to my sister, 10
Yeah,
years in business, almost 70 books, including our newest one, Joni. So let me just share. This is our new book, everybody. Okay. Where is it?
right
Not
there. I
this.
see it. Oh my gosh, in a
Oh,
beautiful blue color.
you can
Oh
see
my
it?
gosh. I did. I saw it.
Oh, here it is. All right. So here's our book. It's called Write Your Book in a Day, The Blueprint for Turning Your Book Dreams into Published Reality, a Two Sisters workbook. And my sister and I did it together. It is going on sale on the 13th, which is Friday, and we'll have it launching, book signing at the conference in Brookings. And it's available for pre-order on our website here. And it's so exciting, Joni, because all the things I'm constantly saying as a book coach, as a publisher, as an editor are in the book. And so it's like immortalizing it. Is that the right word? That's going to last forever. So I love that, love that, love that.
And you know what I like about the book?
What?
I like the book because it worked for me. Everything you taught me worked.
Yes, yes,
You
yes,
know, it's
yes.
not like a book that really doesn't work. It works. I'm
Uh-huh.
living proof of it. I was
Uh-huh.
not a writer.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Uh-huh.
and this book, your information is living proof that it works. If it can work for me, everybody, it can work for you.
Yes. And so, Joni, I remember you said you read a book about how to write a book and it was super boring. Well, guess what? Our book is fun. Our book is easy to apply everything you need to know. And our goal is to make it exciting, interactive, high energy. And I know that many times I've read books that when I was trying to learn how to meditate and things, I couldn't understand them. The guidance was like way above my head. And
Mhm,
so I wanted to present like 101 version in
mhm.
easy to use concepts that people can apply and get good results. So that's
So with that, can I tell you the thing that's churning in my heart?
yes.
Oh boy. Do I want to say this in public?
I
I'm
don't
going to
know,
say it.
Joni, if you don't, it's live on YouTube right now. So
I know, I know. I'm going to say it anyway because I think it's going to happen and I don't know when, where, or how. It's a Jesus thing. I'm being called to write a prayer book.
oh, you should do that. You should do that. So that would be beautiful,
So
Joni. You
so
should.
yeah, I think that's where my next journey is going. I
I
think. Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
It's
it.
scary as heck, but at the same time, it's exhilarating. So oh,
Oh, I
I'll be
love
in
that.
touch.
So when we launched Joyously Free at Motor City Pride in 2024, Joni would be like anointing people with holy oil in the middle of Hart Plaza, which is like this big space downtown Detroit. And it was incredible. They were so touched. And then the night before, we went to this cool thing that was celebrating the opening of Michigan Central Station in Detroit, a historic train station that's now offices and event space. And Joni was like blessing my friends. It was so cool. There's music and dancing, and she's over there going like this with the oil. And guess what? They've never forgotten that. That
Oh,
was so touching for them. And so, and it was especially at Motor City Pride, Joni, people who, have faced a lot of trauma for coming out, living,
yeah.
being out and such, and to feel that love from you through your prayers. So when you do that with a book, imagine how many hearts and souls you're going to touch, Joni. That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad I got that off my chest too. You know, when you, as an author, you know, when you finally decide you're going to do something, you want to put it out there. It's scary because it opens up a whole can of worms of, can I do this? Will it be read? You know, will it have an impact? Do I want to really take the time and energy to do it? And when you're called, that's a different story. And this is what I'm hearing right now. So I just got to keep listening to my Jesus, my best friend. Thank
I
you.
love that. I love that. Thank you, Joni. Okay, any final words to people who are writing a book right now and they're just so focused on getting it done. Any words of inspiration about the infinite possibilities that can happen when they become a published author?
Uh, I love how you ask me all the time for like final comments. I think my final comment is stay focused on what you're doing right now and just know and believe and trust and be open to things that will happen as it happens. And first off, get your book completed and then one step at a time, just keep saying yes to the next thing. Keep saying yes, trust and believe. You can
Mhm.
do this, and you're surrounded by angels. It's meant to be.
Beautifully said, Joni. That's beautiful.
Thank
All
you.
right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Please tune into Joni's radio program. I will put the link here along with the registration link to the South Coast Writers Conference in Brookings, Oregon, February 13th and 14th of this year, 2026. And also the two receptions, the one that Joni is hosting at an oceanfront home, and the other one
Thanks
with
to John and Ron.
John and Ron. Thank you so much. We are very, very grateful. That's going to be really fun. And please, we'd love to see you at this conference if you're in Northern California, Oregon, or if you feel like getting on an airplane and coming out and joining us.
Yes.
Please do, because it's going to be high energy, impactful. You're going to leave with so much information, motivation, excitement, new friends, new mentors, and even an outline if you come to my workshop that's on Friday. So
So
we're super.
speaking of that, Elizabeth, I
Hmm?
think we better let everybody know that we won't be having a podcast next Friday because you're going to be in the middle of your presentation.
Yes, thank you for that, Joni. There will be
Yes.
a podcast next Friday, but guess what? You have, I don't know, are we going on 3 years of podcast, Joni? The playlist is quite long, an episode, so you won't be bored next Friday. You can peruse the playlist on the Two
Yes.
Sisters Writing and Publishing YouTube channel, and there's so many topics. You can look for exactly what you need because Joni and I have talked about pretty much everything under the sun when it comes to writing, publishing, and promoting.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
thank you for your grace and excusing us for the week of February 13th, 2026, because we will be inspiring minds in Oregon.
Yes, yes. And Elizabeth, travel safe, and everybody else coming, please travel safe and just blessings on your travels.
Thank you, Joni. Thank you. I'm super excited. Always delighted to come to Oregon and see my sister Catherine and you and all the wonderful people there. So, to all of you writers out there, we hope we've given you a whole new insight into what can happen when you become a published author. But guess what? First, you have to finish that book. So, we're here to inspire you. So,
Yes.
please visit twosisterswriting.com, learn about how I can coach you, how we can publish your book, and also get our new book, Write Your Book in a Day. Meanwhile, we wish you happy reading and happy writing, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
You betcha. And happy listening to radio. This is Joyously Free signing off. Have a beautiful day. Smile big and wear bright colors.
I love it. Love it. Thanks, Joni.
Thank you. Big hugs, everybody.